Hi, everyone. Stacy Heisman with GI Jobs, and I'm here today with James Bamford. And he is, and wait, am I got this right? You're in Oregon, is that right?
That's correct.
All right. Well, listen, we are interviewing you today because you are a recent transition out of the U.S. Army, and you have landed a fabulous job with Tokyo Electron America. Is that right?
That's correct.
Excellent. Well, let's talk a little bit about your transition. So, tell me what you did in the Army, and how long did you serve?
I was 5 years active duty. I was a 25 Bravo, which is an IT specialist,
Okay.
and I worked at Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
All right. So I'm going to guess that did you, I'm not sure. Tell me, did you have a good transition trying to out of the active duty to civilian world with that type of background?
I would say for IT specialists, it's a little easier than some of the other jobs because there is a parallel civilian industry.
Mhm.
But I think there's going to be some level of challenge with with anybody, transitioning out.
So in layman's terms, tell me what you did for the Army.
Mainly responsible for managing user accounts for computers and making sure all the printers, phones, and computers were working properly.
So you're like you're like everyone's favorite guy, actually, when when I'm hearing
Yeah,
this.
our office was pretty popular.
I think it probably was. All right, and you served several years now. Why did you? And we didn't talk about this before, but why did you decide to serve, anyways?
um, there's a several reasons. I always grew up watching all the movies, of course, and I didn't know I would have the opportunity to serve as a kid, but when I did, that was a great opportunity. And professionally, it was the best way I could get some professional experience and training as well. So there was a few reasons why I wanted to serve.
Actually, those are all really, really valid and great reasons, to be honest with you, James. So, all right. So, tell me how the job in the Army helped you get the job in the civilian world. Tell me about your transition.
Um, I think the skills that you get as a soldier, not just an IT specialist, help with the type of work we do because a lot of it is attention to detail and looking for small incongruencies within the systems. The tools we work on are very proprietary, so a lot of their training will prepare you most of the way for the work we do, but the reliability and consistency and quality of work that we were trained to accomplish in the Army was the main foundation.
So it sounds like quality matters. Yeah, it sounds like I mean, really, when you think about it, it sounds like you got what you need. There's a high level of uh training techniques, that you guys have to go through. And I think that's important that people know that it's valued in the outside world, right?
For sure,
For
yes.
sure. All right. So tell me a little bit about how you got your job, because that's always the key for people want to know.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it was kind of out of the blue. I had been working IT contracting jobs, and I was contacted by a recruiter from a staffing agency.
Okay.
They were hiring a lot of people, and they still are. Um, they're looking for people with a technical background, or a lot of veterans actually they hire.
Okay.
But they reached out to me, and I didn't know this type of work was out there before they contacted me.
Okay.
And I was very happy when I figured out what the job entailed.
So what does the job entail? Tell me the job that you have now. Tell me a little bit about it.
um, it's the general category of work which you'll see across the industry is manufacturing technician.
Okay.
So the companies are working together to build semiconductors or computer processors. So one of our main clients, for example, would be Intel, and we basically do maintenance on Tokyo Electron's machines and make sure they're working properly.
Okay, well, you just hit like major buzzwords that I hear all the time in the news. So semiconductors and, I mean, really, I mean, it sounds like your work is really needed. So um, going to the staffing agency and they contacted you sounds like it really worked out.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I would
Yeah,
say so.
I would say so. Right. All right. Well, okay. So how did COVID change the way you do business? Did it change anything at all for you?
Yeah, it definitely had its impact. The type of work we do requires us to be on site. So we had to take precautions with that. So obviously we're wearing masks when we're on site, and we had to limit the amount of people that could be working in a small area and maintain social distancing, 6 feet between people. There's obviously many other guidelines that we stuck to, but those are the main ones.
The main ones, sure. Okay, so how now you're talking right now to a wide audience in social media, and I know they're listening and they're thinking, what did he do right? What's the one piece of, or a couple, or you can say as many pieces as you want, actually. What advice would you give someone right now serving active duty who is about ready to drop paperwork and is going to move out into the civilian world? What's some of the like sage advice that you would give to them?
I would say accept help, and there's so many different levels to that because anybody who's transitioning out of the military has to go through a lot of classes that can help you prepare your resume or prepare for job interviews. I use the resume preparation, for example, quite extensively. They helped me produce a resume that anybody would be proud to hold. And I couldn't have done that by myself because I wasn't used to writing resumes or maintaining them myself or communicating to civilian employers. But beyond that, having a good support group is very important. So if possible, if you have friends or family you can rely on through the transition, it can help make the whole process a lot more easy.
Sure. And how long did you go right from out of the service? How long did you have to wait before you got your next job, before you got this job?
Before this job, it was about 2 years.
Really? Okay.
I started by when I separated from the United States Army, I had a civilian IT job lined up, and I did that for about a year. And after that, I was a IT contractor. I did these short-term contracts in the area for another year before I found this job.
How did they find you? Just out of curiosity. How did the staffing agency find you?
I don't know for sure, but I did upload my resume to a lot of different hiring websites, and I was pretty active with keeping my ear to the ground and getting my information out there so I could catch any opportunities that might be available.
Did you use any social media stuff, or did you? I'm just throwing questions at you because I'm just curious. So, did you use any like social media stuff? Did you use LinkedIn? Tell me some of the tools that maybe you used online that helped you.
Um, for the first few jobs, social media was pretty important. I used personal connections to get my first job, and that was through Facebook. And of course, I used the main professional social media. I'm sure the line's a little blurry for me, but I definitely used LinkedIn, Monster, and several of the other job websites that are out there.
Sure. Well, actually, it sounds like you have a great job. I mean, it sounds like you have a job security too, because I'll tell you, yeah, again, what you talked about, what you do is it's in the news all the time. That's all I hear about is how in demand your your specialty is. So, James, thank you very much for spending the evening with me to talk a little bit about what's going on with you and share your story about how you transition. Any parting advice to those out there?
Um, I suppose good luck, and just keep your opportunities open and be open to new whatever comes your way.
You got it. Actually, great advice. So, all right, everyone, thank you very much for joining me tonight with James Bamford from Oregon, and I appreciate you spending your evening with me. And good luck to you. Maybe in a couple of years, I'll catch up with you again, and we'll find out how things are going.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great night.